Welcome to Attic Raiders Retro Reviews, where today we're going to be having some foam-flinging fun as we take a look at Doughnut Disaster. Doughnut Disaster was released by Parker Brothers in 1993 and is a 2 to 4 player game for ages 5 and up. It was invented by Jim Kiefer, who also created the 80s classics Thunder Road and Screaming Eagles. It was while working on the Nerf line in an office full of foam that he came up with a concept for this game where you're going to have to catch a whole bunch of foam which has been shot up into the air. The machine that is doing the shooting is this donut machine here, and it's a bit of a crazy contraption. The front of the box here has got some really lovely painted artwork on it which really shows off the colours of this thing and its vibrant design. Doughnut Disaster is the hilarious game of fast catching and quick stacking. And on the back here you can see the actual donut machine here that you're going to get in the box, and it really has some great table presence. Of interest is that this European release appears to have a doctored photograph where the Doughnut Disaster label and its surrounding plastic frame appear to have been edited out. In fact, as we'll see later, the game itself doesn't feature the Doughnut Disaster text on the sticker, but instead has cogs. I think the English text has deliberately been removed from the game unit so that this can be sold in any European country which doesn't have English as a language. This is a really simple but fun game. I think it's time to take a closer look at it. We've got a 6-sided die with different colours of paper decals on it representing the different donuts. This is probably the cheapest feeling piece in the box. We've got 20 foam rings, 4 of each of 5 different colours, and these are a nice sturdy strong foam, but they don't look a huge amount like donuts. The main component of the game is of course the donut machine itself, and if you manage to find an untouched copy of this game, then putting together the donut machine is going to be quite a bit of a task. This is something from an IKEA nightmare. There are loads and loads of pieces that need to be put together in just the right order for them to all fit. However, as this game was released over 30 years ago, it's much more likely that you're going to have a unit which has been pre-assembled and looks like this. Now, a lot of these pieces can become detached, like this for instance, or these buckets can come off here. So if you're getting a copy of this game, look really carefully to see if you're getting a version which has got all of the pieces, because some of these pieces are quite likely to be missing, and I've seen quite a few that don't have these jugs. The good thing is, if you are missing some of these pieces, then pretty much most of them are purely aesthetic and aren't actually needed for the functioning of this game. But that said, you really do want all of the pieces because this looks absolutely fantastic when it's on the table. Those colours really pop, and the moving, interacting neon parts look great. Out of the box, the only pieces you're probably likely to have to add are the feet, and they just simply clip onto the bottom like this. There's one there, and there's one here. These are kind of rolling pins, and they help to keep it balanced. And another piece which can go missing quite often is this foam rod here, and this goes into the top up here, and you have to push it all the way down so that it really goes in firmly. I'm going to have to put these feet back on, having done that. The final component then of our donut machine is the battery holder, because this is an electric game which is going to need some batteries. You're going to need 2 C-size batteries for this. So we take the game, we turn it upside down, one battery goes in there, the second battery goes in, and then this piece goes over the top there and clicks into place like that. And then I'm going to put that foot back on, and that is ready to start up. To get ready for the game, donuts are divided up between the players so that each player gets the same number of each colour of donut. which if you're doing a 2 or 4 player game is going to be quite easy, but if you're doing a 3 player game, then spare donuts are going to have to go on top of the stack. Gameplay is really simple. The first one to get rid of all their donuts is the winner. And to do that, we're going to take turns rolling the die, which is going to tell you what colour of donut to put onto the machine, or whether you have to roll again. At some point while you're stacking donuts onto this thing, it's going to blow and they're all going to go flying up into the air. Now, if that happens on your turn, you have to try and grab as many donuts as you can. Any donuts which you catch before they hit the ground, you can either put to the side so they're out of the game, or you can put them back onto the donut machine. The game rules don't actually specify. But any donuts that you don't manage to catch and hit the ground, you're going to have to add them to your stack, which is going to grow and make it harder for you to win the game. That's it. It's that simple. It's just basically like a really frenetic game of pass the parcel where you don't want it to land on you, because if it explodes, you're going to probably end up with a lot more donuts because they're pretty hard to catch. But with the added benefits of a really noisy piece of machinery and you getting the fright of your life every time that this goes off. So to get our donut machine going, we take this green button here and we press it all the way down. That starts it off a little bit, then with this orange plunger we pull up and it's off. Okay, I think it's time for a one-player demonstration, so let's go. Now, of course, you won't really hear much of anything, but we're going for it. Green. Yellow. Orange. Blue. Green. Red. Slightly hard to tell some of these colours. That's a blue. We've got an orange. Orange again. Getting ready to try and catch these things because they're pretty hard. Roll again. Roll again. Roll again. Yellow. Yellow. You've got to be quick on this so it's not your turn when it goes off. Roll again. Red. Oh, I'm getting nervous now. Green. See if I can catch any of these. Yellow. Well, there we go. I managed to catch 4 of these things. So I don't need to put these ones in my stack. But everything else I would have to add and continue playing. Donut Disaster is a bit of simple, silly fun from the 90s when we had bright, wacky, bold colours and machines that did lots of things that weren't really necessary. There's absolutely no strategy to this game whatsoever other than trying to roll the die as quickly as you can so that when this machine goes off it doesn't happen on your turn. Now of course that's going to be best in a game which goes off randomly. Unfortunately, I've experimented with this several times and it always goes off exactly 1 minute and 3 seconds after you pull up the orange handle. So it is entirely predictable when it is going to go off, which kind of detracts from the overall point of this game to me. Also on the downside, this game is noisy. The unfortunate thing with this game is that once you press this green button down in order to start it, then there is no way of stopping it again. There is no off button. This handle can be pulled up to start the machine and to start the game, and you can press the handle down in order to disconnect this orange cog here, which pauses everything, but there is no way of stopping this incessant racket until this green button has popped up. But until that happens, you're not going to get sweet silent relief. My wife just won't play this game because she can't stand the sound of the motorised functions, and that's going to put off quite a lot of people. Even if it's your kids that are playing this, it's going to drive you nuts with that going on in the background. As far as the functioning of the machine actually goes though, it does look good and it works really well. It is particularly hard to catch those foam donuts, but it is possible. This is one that's got lots of moving parts and lots of pieces which can get lost, so if you're after a copy of this game, really make sure you check it out to make sure none of those pieces are missing. I was really lucky that I found this at a car boot sale for £1 and absolutely everything was there. This is not the kind of game for your serious gamers, but if you want a bit of 90s nostalgia, this is a good one for the collection. It's good just to have a bit of nonsense, good laugh sometimes, rather than busting your brain on strategy all the time. Well, that's it from me for today. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you with more vintage games next time on Attic Raiders Retro Reviews.